Aloha everyone, good evening, and welcome to the Royal Hawaiian Center. This evening we will be presenting some dances, and this style of hula is called the hula kahiko. So if you are expecting hula girls and swishing hula skirts, the sound of the ukulele and guitar or bass, then you'll probably be very elated to know that none of that will be happening tonight. We will be sharing with you some of our most precious treasures, and this we call the hula kahiko. And as part of that, we welcome you now with an oli. An oli is a song, and this one is the song of Waikiki. In this song of welcome, we call the rainbow the symbol of gods and chiefs of our old people. The rainbow is acknowledged in the Bible as also the presence of God, and it is His sign that He is always here. It says, "Come, come, you are welcome." And here we are to share with you the many stories of us, the Hawaiian people. We begin with a number called Kawika, David. It celebrates Hawaii's last king, David Kalakaua, known throughout the world as the Merry Monarch. And to your left, the avenue that you've been traveling on just daily is called Kalakaua, the Day of Battle. And this mele celebrates our great king.
Ai, Kawika, kahekea o nā hua. Eia no kawika kahekea o nā hua Eia no kawika kahekea o nā hua Kawila makahina mala mala mahawai Kawila makahina mala mala mahawai Akui kalam no perekane oloi tuini o palani Kui kalam no perekane oloi te tuini o palani Nawai e rabua iluna o ka paake ano kamakua Nawai e rabua iluna o ka paake ano kamakua Haina ia mai ka puana o ka lani ka vika hei noa Haina ia mai ka puana o ka lani ka vika hei noa ala e a ai Kelly, David, Lamea, Lumialani, Mahinulani, Naloia e huo kalani, Kamana kaupu'u, Kalakawa.
You can pa'i. That's called pa'i when you strike your hands together. In our Hawaii, David Kalakaua was the one who brought back the hula. When the missionaries arrived in 1820, they were unaware of the great depth of our Hawaiian culture and language, and they misunderstood our hula. And because of that, the hula was forbidden to be danced. But during the reign of King David Kalakaua, he insisted that the hula be presented at every public function. It is said that our Hawaiian people journeyed from the South Pacific here to the north of Hawaii. The ancestor called Pele rode upon the back of her brother Kamohoali'i, the great shark, and she brought her sisters and brothers to help her attend the fires. On arriving in Hawaii, they called out, "Ayala o Pele, there is Pele." But she came with her brothers and sisters, her brothers tending the fires, causing the eruptions, and her sisters fought in the clouds high above.
Hi, Ayala o Pele i Hawaii. Ayala o Pele.
Ayala o Pele Hawaii ke hamai hai mau kele
There is Pele, they say.
Ayala o Pele
He is dancing on the island of Hawaii as she dances today.
Uhi uha mai anaea teno mea elaya unaea.
Soft and loud, the sound of the lava can be heard as it rolls over the land.
O kamea nani vai paliulia ke pule loa elaina palia.
How beautiful! Behold, fires of lava whirling in the night sky, high above the cliffs.
Aya kapala nai mauia, ai nau raulula auhea. Aya kapala nai mauia, ai nau raulula auhea.
Where will you and I go, the Malay says. The great wave of lava should come to our home on the island of Maui, the land of the great trees.
Haina ia mai kapuana ea, no hi ka no he no aea.
And so the songs are sung and danced in honor of Pele, the goddess of fire and volcanoes.
E ala, e ala, e a, ai e.
Pele had 7 sisters. You could see them in the clouds high above, in the smoke that encircled one like a lake. Our islands were made of fire and water. Pele can still be seen today on the island of Hawaii as the volcano continues to erupt. Pele takes 3 forms, one of a beautiful woman, one of a white dog with red eyes, and finally the one that most people come acquainted with, and that is Pele, the old woman walking along the crater roof late at night. Our islands indeed are made of fire, water, and through the many ages, the land has been tempered, and we have these beautiful islands called Hawaii. Hawaiians say, "Ai ihe kawai akane." Where are the waters of life to be found? Are the waters found high in the mountain areas? Are they found below the sea, where one cannot see them? Are the waters found in the clouds high above? Ai ihe kawai akane. Where are the living waters of the god Kani?
E ui aku anau ia oe, ai he kawaia kāne. Ai ka hiki nā kala, huka I hae hae, ai laila kawaia kāne. E ui aku
Are
anau
the
ia
waters of
oe, ai
life
he kawaia
found where
kāne.
the sun rises in the east?
Kai o pui kai, e mai ana mami hoa makamole mai
Or
hole.
are they found where the sun sets beyond the island of
E
Timor?
ui ako anau ia oe, ai iha kawaia kāne. Ai ke kua hiwi, I ke kua lono, I ke āwawa, I ke kahawai. Ai laila kawaia kāne. E ui aku anau ia oe, ai ia kawaia kāne. Ai I kai, I ka moana, I ke ānue nue, ka pūnohu, I ka uakopo, I ka ālewa lewa. Ai laila kawaia
Are
kāne.
the waters of life found where the
E ui
rainbow
aku anau
stands one foot on the
ai ia
land and
kawaia
one foot on the sea?
kāne. Ai luna kawaia
Are the
kāne.
waters of life
I ke
found
auri,
there?
ke au ele ele, ke au pano pano, ke au popolo hua mea kāne lai. Ai laila kawaia kāne. E ui ako anau ia oe, ai ihea kawaia kāne, ai I lalo, ka honua, ka waihu, ka wai kaua kāne me kanaloa, e wai e puna, e wai e inu, e wai e mana, ai ola. E ola noia, nue.
The waters of life are to be found here on the earth, and in the tears that one sheds.
Hano hano.
Hano hano e kau ki hana kalani, I ka leo ka he kani e kawi.
From the island of Hawaii, where Pele resides, we take you to the island far to the north, the island of Kauai, the oldest of our Hawaiian islands that we live upon at this time.
Ana.
This is the story of a beautiful chiefess who heard the sound of a magic float each night, listening to the sound of the nose flute. She decided to follow that sound and climb the high mountain of Waialeale. She journeyed further and further up the high mountain, passing the home of the goddess of the Mokuhana. The sound of the nose flute carried the love of the player, and the young chiefess's heart burned with fire, hoping to meet up with him. Thunder and lightning, crashing rain would not deter the young chiefess, and there she found her beloved, the chiefess Kaililau o Kepoa.
Heinono. Hali'a laulani.
You have seen some of our Hawaiian instruments, the pahu or the drums. You used the pu'ili and the young dancer that finished her dancing. And this evening we will share with you many of the things that our visitors and our kama'aina treasure in their hearts. To share in the stories of our Hawaii is not only to talk about the beautiful beaches at Waikiki, but to talk about the great chiefs and the great gods and goddesses of our Hawaii. People say that we Hawaiians were a pagan people, but that's not true. Our Hawaiians gave recognition and honor to the powers of the earth. They knew that Pele, the goddess of fire, could only make fire. They knew that Kanaloa, the god of the sea, could only control the sea. And they knew that the goddess Hi'iaka would go to the mountains and gather all of the la'au to be used for healing and life-giving. And they knew, deep in their hearts, that there was a great creator called Ya Onalani Kamakua Mauloa, who had all of the powers. And that is the great God that Hawaii was brought by the missionaries as well. We already knew his name, Ya Onalani Kamakua Mauloa, but they believed that we Hawaiians were a pagan people. We have lived in these lands for hundreds and thousands of years, and the land is our sibling. It is our ohana. And in that way, we have cared for the land long before environmentalists came to teach us about caring for our land. If we don't care for our siblings, then how can we live? There is a goddess who lives on the island of Hawaii, and her name is Lilinoi. But before we talk about her, we're going to talk about a great warrior and a battle that took place in our Hawaii. On the island of Hawaii, when Kamehameha the Great passed, his son Liholiho became king. Now Liholiho was encouraged to break the kapu that kept the Hawaiian people in rank and in governance. Kamehameha's nephew, Kekua Okalani, was in charge of the war god, Ku Ka'ilimoku. And a great battle took place on the island of Hawaii at an area called Kuamo'o. Today, people see it as Leke Leke, the burial ground of over 300 warriors that were slain. Kekua Okalani represented the traditionalists, bringing their ihe, their pololu, and their ancient fighting equipment onto the battlefront. And Liholiho was represented by the cannon and firearms brought by the traders and given to Liholiho. Eo Kekua Okalani, answer to your great name. You will never be forgotten for your strength and integrity. You are truly a pukawa, a great general, who defended the ancient religion and the ancient style of government for our Hawaiian people. Your spirit will continue to live, O great one. Kekua Okalani was the cousin of the ruling king, Liholiho, a nephew of the great Kamehameha that had passed. O great Kekua Okalani, you fought because you loved the Aina, you loved your sibling. The story continued. Not only was Kekua Okalani a great warrior, but his wife, Manono, fought beside him. And when Kekua Okalani was struck and fell, she took and adorned herself with his ahu, or great feather cape. She put upon her head his warrior's matiole. She took up his evening and led the warriors into the remaining of the battle. The mele recalls the days of love between Kekua Okalani and his wife Manono. The many times they ventured up into the mountains and made a bed among the ferns. Your thoughts will be my thoughts. Little by little, you and I will be of one spirit. And so Manono, the great chieftain, the warrior, who took up her husband's ahu and matiole, continued the battle. When Manono died, she uttered these few words. Malama ko aloha. Malama ko aloha. Always treasure your love. Whether it's the love that you give to others or whether it's the love that you receive, malama ko aloha. These are words that we treasure. Always care for the love. The goddess Lilinoi again lives on the high mountain of Hawaii Island. She lives high above on the opposite side of Pele. Her sister is Poliahu, the goddess of cold and ice, where Pele is the goddess of fire and volcano. Lilinoi adorns her older sister with beautiful shades of light green and blue and golden yellow as her sister prepares to cause the snow to reach the lower flanks of the island of Hawaii.
Nau kala na wakea, e ke kikapu na wakea, o ka uru na o wakea na ke ano. Nau ka mana e makahi na o ka puna kea. Oia hoi o ka mauna hana ka mauna, o ka mauna wane I ko lalo nei la, o aila wane I ko luna la, o aila o ka la aia, aia o iha. O Lilinoi, ke kua lono, mauna kea, no lono ana I ke kule ana o ai au, I ke ao malamalama o a kea, e a mai mauna loa me ua la laila, me nā pupu kini kini a o ai me a lai. O
Lilinoi, the goddess of mist, living high on the cliffs of Mauna Kea, the White Mountain. Mauna Kea is the tallest mountain in the world. If you count its base under the sea. Lilinoi visits each of the mountains on our island. And she has gone far south as Aotearoa and gone to Taranaki. She has also gone to Denali, the high mountain that they call Mount McKinley.
Ahiki mai o ka ala me wai ale ale, kamako pani au me lana I ale, mai mauna te nalia I mauna taranaki, nā mauna hulukupu owa me ala e kapa kalu kalu ko Lilinoi.
And so Lilinoi has presented her sister Poliahu with a garment of beautiful white and blue. And high above, the lightning strikes. The mountain Mauna Kea is kapu, or forbidden. Well, we've shared many things with you this evening. We shared about Pele, the goddess of fire and volcano, of Poliahu, the goddess of snow, and her sister Lilinoi. We shared with you how one can identify Pele, and we shared with you also the idea of power and recognizing it. In our Hawaii, we say this: the land is the chief, and we are the servants. We are the servants to the land, and we must always care for the land. Whether it be the oceans or the mountains or the streams where the waters of life can be found. Hawaiians will wake up early in the morning to watch the rising of the sun. Ula no veo, they say. The glow of red begins to break the darkness of the night. The dancers will be using an instrument called the uli uli. People call them something like the shaking rabbit. In Hawaiian, it is called uli uli. The nut is the la'amia, and inside of that are tiny seeds from the canna plant. The handle, called the pa'alima, is wrapped with cording. And on the top, you will see decorative often, the hulu, or the feathers. In old Hawaii, in our ancient times, the use of the uli uli was only one, and it was always done as a hula noho, a time to sit.
Ai, ula no veo, lai ka laila, kapua I lima, ki ipa. Ula no veo la, lai ka laila, kapua I lima lae. Ula no veo la,
the glow of the sun is likened to the orange blossom called the ilima. And if you stand on the cliff near Nohili, the area, you will see the beautiful waters and colors. If one ascends the mountains of the island of Hawaii and looks down to the north, you will be engulfed by the pouring rains called the Ka'ualoku at Analei. In the deep forest, one will find the meandering waters from the mountains. And so the story has been told of the beauty of the rising sun, the beauty of the pouring rain, for the island of Kauai. I'd like to share with you a little bit about the dancers you are seeing tonight. They all hold graduate titles in the HULA. So if you look at the young dancer, she holds the title of Olapa, or graduate dancer. And it takes about 8 years to achieve this title. There is no pala or paper, but she wears the adornments of the graduate dancer. She wears the painted skirt, she wears the feather lei hula upon her head, and around her neck, and she wears the lei kahuli, and on her wristlets and anklets, she wears the kupe'e, these given by her kubo or teacher. Another rank in the hula is the ho'opa'a, or the graduate chanter, who not only has to go through the olapa stage, but has to be able to memorize all the different beats, chants that are given to them. And above that is the title of kumuhula, or graduate teacher. You could say that would be equivalent to a double or triple PhD. It requires much concentration, and a lot of it has to be memorized because you don't have the luxury of looking at a phone in front of you as you do these songs. Each of the girls here tonight are graduate teachers, dancers, and chanters. And among them, there's also one that is in Hawaiian language, is also kumu'a'o, and a po'okumu at a Hawaiian school. So these dancers that you see tonight are just not any dancers that you would ever be able to come across to meet in Hawaii. So I'm very happy to introduce all of them to you. The young dancer is Waikiki. And her mother sits in the center of the girls chanting and drumming tonight. Her name is Kaulana. To her right is her older sister, that's Pu'uhonua. And to her left is her cousin Momilani. When we say in Hawaii it's a kako thing, it's an ohana thing, we really do mean that we are all related. And I'd like to introduce their mother, Kawai's grandmother, their auntie, is here today, and that is Puke'ala. She herself is a graduate dancer, teacher, and chanter, and you might often see her here at the Royal Hawaiian Center on Tuesdays. For the last 41 years, she has been here giving the complimentary hula lesson. So that is Auntie Puke'ala there. As we said, we are celebrating the name and life of Kalakaua. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do a number for you, and it's called Kaulilua Ke Anu o Wai Ale Ale. It is the oldest dance that we in our halau have received from the island of Kauai. It likens a woman to a beautiful mountain on Kauai. When she is loving and ready to accept you, she will invite you up the slopes of the mountain. The mele says in many things, what I do in good faith, and what I say in truth. The mele teaches the young dancers that all life is given by Keakua Manaloa, and one day they will bring forth life, and life must be honored and treasured. Dance is called the Aipa'a. Mele says again, what I have done in good faith, and what I say in truth. I believe that all life is given by the great Kamakua Ya'olalani. The mele says, be ever watchful and attentive, and listen to the winds of life. They will speak to your spirit and your soul. The mele says, be ever attentive and be ever watchful. In life, one must have a strong foundation, and hands must always be extended to comfort and to assist. The mele says, hold fast to the teachings of your ancestors. The mele reminds us to lift our eyes to the heavens and to give thanks And though many people cross your life path, the Mele says, listen to the voice within the body, within the spirit. We'd like to share with you another dance, and this one is the first one that you heard earlier, when they began to beat with their double-headed gourds, the Mele called kavika. It celebrates the merry monarch. Our king from Hawaii, this tiny island Hawaiian kingdom, was the first to travel around the whole world, to circumnavigate the world. He left Hawaii and went to America. And from America, he sailed to Yokohama Bay in Japan. And arriving at Yokohama Bay, to his great surprise and pleasure, the Royal Japanese Navy Band began to play the anthem of Hawaii. We will always remember that. He wrote about it, and it is in our history, how the people of Japan engaged him and treated him so well. Around the world, wherever he went, even as a guest, the Queen Victoria of England. They'll do for you this dance called Kavika. Here is David. For the poe hula of the world, hula has gone to China, Korea, Sweden, Spain, all around the world. And if you are a member of the hula, you certainly would have come across this melody. The king's personality was like lightning. Wherever he went, he brought great joy and happiness. He was a Renaissance man. He was an inventor. And he spoke English fluently. He was welcomed around the world. He was hosted by Queen Victoria. The Mele says, who is it that the great king admires? His father, Caesar, Kahanu So remember, Ha'ina doesn't mean the end. It means we have told you the story and you will retell it. Ha'ina means to tell. And this one, the story of our great king. We thank you all for listening to our stories, and we hope that you will remember us and you will come to love our islands, our culture, and our history as much as we do. We welcome you, and we ask that you will love the land like your own sibling, that you will care for it, and you will listen to us when we say, be careful of those dangerous waves. Be careful not to swim there. If you don't see us swimming in area, then that would be something for you to think about. We care about you, and we wish you a safe journey home. So from all of us to all of you, aloha.